Welcome back, guys. This is your host, Ike.O, to the new broadcast, BNS podcast. We have been around for about 2 years doing this great work, and every time I come on board, it's like a new day for me. I'm excited this afternoon, this morning, this evening, wherever you are in the world, for our family and friends who are in the UK. We want to wish you guys congratulations with your new Prime Minister you just had. We don't dabble into politics, but I know you want me to recognize, and I've acknowledged that. And for the folks in the Far East and maybe somewhere in Africa, it's a new day. Today, I'm super excited because my guest is has a lot to share, and it's very rare that you get someone like this on the podcast who just opens up and tells you their story. Please welcome, for the first time to the BNS podcast, Christina Flach. Christina, hi.
Hi, how are you? Thanks
I'm
so much
great.
for having me.
Thank you. You are in the West. You're on the West Coast, I believe. That's correct.
Yes, I'm in California.
So that's about 3 hours different from where we are in the DMV area.
Yes.
Can you please tell our audience who you are? I don't want to do it because I get too excited. I never think I'm just making it up. So just tell them who you are.
Oh, you're so funny.
If you can mention a few, and let's go from there.
Okay. I am a celebrity makeup artist. I am the creator and CEO of Pretty Girl Makeup, and I'm Too Busy Skincare and Makeup. I'm a beauty expert on California Live NBC. I'm the mother of 5. I'm a philanthropist. I write for different magazines as well. And I think that's all my titles. I have worked with all kinds of different people, all the networks, different Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Nike, New Balance. I've got a lot of different clients. I love my job because, I love being the makeup artist part because I'm somewhere different. I work with new people. I love to travel. And then I love doing my interviews and my podcasts. And then I also enjoy, running my business, creating new products, and doing that on days I'm not in a photo shoot. So it's always different. Every day is I don't have a normal job, that's for sure.
That's good. Well, this job is super exciting enough. And I can see all the ladies on the platform saying, wow, I want to be like her. But don't worry, they will get to find out the story and the journey, how you got there, because life itself is a journey. But
yes.
Most importantly, I every time I hear the word too busy for skincare, is that what you call it? Too busy for what? What's the name of the brand?
Too busy. It's called I'm Too Busy, and it's a skincare and makeup line.
Okay, so
and it's going to be coming out. It's not launched yet.
It's not out yet?
We're still in the midst of fundraising and creating the line. And then I'm also I'm hosting a new TV show called I'm Too Busy. So I'm going to be interviewing a lot of people that I work with and that I know. So add that to my little list of things I do.
Wow. Because in today's world, we know everyone is too busy. Everyone is extremely too busy.
Right?
And when I head up, I'm too busy for, and it's a healthcare, a skincare line, I'm super excited because I know most of the ladies are going to say, yeah, we can do some of that. So some easy stuff. It sounds like something that you just put on your face and keep it moving, right?
Yes. Yep. I find that a lot of my clients tell me that, they're too busy. They don't have time to do their skincare routines that they buy. A lot of people have purchased very expensive, regimes that are many steps, but if you're not doing it consistently, it's not going to work at all. So I worked with a beauty consultant, a scientist, and we came up with a 3-step process for men and women. So it's a reverse cleansing. So, most people don't drink the water that they splash on their face. They filter their water. So because, the water's so harsh, you don't want to put on your skin. So we're going to put a moisturizer and a cleanser on the face before we splash the water on. So it's like a protectant from the harsh chemicals in our water, the chlorine and chemicals. So we're doing that. And then the 3rd step is just protection, a vitamin C serum and all kinds of good things to protect the skin from the elements.
And this is for men and women, or just for women?
Yes, because men and women both need, something for their skin. And I want it to be simple and easy that they can do, twice a day, at least once a day, and it will make a huge difference.
Well, please let us know when you're out with it. And
yes, I'll come back on and we'll talk about it.
Definitely talk about it. And I can bring some other women around so they can actually talk to you and ask you all the questions. And the focus will be you answering those questions. I'll make sure that happens when you come out with it.
Okay, thank you so much.
So today we're going to focus on your philanthropy. You are doing a great work out there. Outside of this, working with all the big celebs and all the big fashion houses that you just mentioned. Kudos to you on that. But I want to I want to talk about where your heart truly has been for quite a while and how you got there. Now, let's start with sepsis. Okay, what is that, and what made you become an advocate in that area? And then we can take the journey. Because sometimes I feel when we share our stories, people can connect and realize that, when adversity hits, sometimes it might be a way of transforming who we are into a new level. Please.
Yes. So I got involved with the Sepsis Alliance here in the United States about 6 years ago when my husband, Ken Flach, who was a professional former #1 tennis player in the world, with his partner, Rob Seguso, he got sick and he got sepsis and he passed away after a very short illness. We were unaware of what sepsis was when he got ill. And so after he passed, the Sepsis Alliance asked me if I'd be willing to raise awareness for sepsis to honor my husband. And so I thought that would be a great idea. And so that's how I started, just getting people to go to sepsis.org, scrolling down. There's a diagram that says time and what time is. T is for temperature. You can be incredibly hot or cold. I is for infection in some place in your body, whether it be an infected tooth or a cold. Sepsis is an infection of the blood, and it attacks all your vital organs very aggressively and very quickly. M is for mental decline, and E is for excruciating pain. You feel like you're dying because your organs are shutting down. Yes, you're mental. You're just not all there. It's affecting your thought process. So if anyone has any of these symptoms, get to the emergency as fast as possible. Tell them you think you might be septic. They'll do a blood test and get you on an IV antibiotic, and you should be okay. You will survive if it's caught in time. But it's not like the common cold where people go, "Oh, I'm gonna go to bed. When I wake up, if I don't feel better, I'll go to the doctor." If you have any of those symptoms, it's better be safe than sorry. Get to the doctor, because if once it gets shutting down your organs, it's too late.
Well, what's the E for again? Sorry, I missed the E part.
E is for excruciating pain.
Wow. So basically, when people go through that, they have excruciating pain?
Yes.
Wow. So now you've become an advocate for this great cause. How is that turning out? What have you done with it?
I have been contacted by so many people telling me that they've heard a podcast that I've done or written something and that they saved their loved one. And that makes me so incredibly happy. I've heard from so many people. And so that really makes me feel great that, Ken's passing and the loss of his life, that we can help others not go through what our family has.
Well, our heart goes out to you, Christina. And thank you for taking this very adverse situation with Ken's passing to turn it out to be to help other families and other loved ones. I can relate to that. My day job involves working with children and adults with autism, and I know what families go through in challenges like that.
Yes.
But you've gone beyond just advocating and speaking on behalf of the Sepsis Foundation to other things else. Share more about the other areas that you truly have the passion for. And I know one of the areas you haven't spoken about is motherhood, being a mother of five.
Yes.
And how these kids have been involved in exactly what you do. Because there's some parent out there who's watching, "Oh, I've got 5 kids in America. Where do I go from here?" And you're about to share your story that will help them.
Education and nutrition are incredibly important to me. I want all kids to have the experience of a great education like my children have been blessed with, and nutrition. I am very into teaching kids from an early age to eat healthy. I think if they're exposed to garden, planting vegetables and fruits, that they'll plant them and that they'll see them grow and they'll be more inclined to eat them as they grow older. So I helped start with my friend Lisa Zimmer, named after my son, Bo, who passed away, the Bo Friedman Outdoor Classroom and Garden in Mill Valley, California at the Ed McGuire School. So we raised all this money. We built all these amazing areas for the fruits and vegetables to be grown. They have a farmer's market every week. So it's a really great thing. And then I have also started the Ken Flach and Baby Bo Fund, educational fund at the Northern Light School in Oakland, California. for underprivileged children to go to private school on scholarship. The school is amazing. They have a 98% success rate. It's K through 8, but from them going on to high school and to college is 98%. It's amazing. Yeah. And so I'm very passionate about raising that money. We do it every year at a celebrity golf tournament run by Vida Blue. He was a professional baseball player that just passed away last year. My son, Ben, is Bo's twin, and he has been for the last 8 years playing this golf tournament. He's a golfer. So 3 of my kids are golfers, and he's played in this golf tournament, raised over $200,000.
Oh,
last year he raised $75,000. So it makes me really proud that my children are generous with their time and giving back.
Wow, 200,000. That's a lot of money. So
a lot of money.
So that's phenomenal work. But education, you said you're big in education and nutrition, right? And you're raising money to help underprivileged kids to gain education or to go to private schools. Now, what would you say is the state of the educational system in the U.S., first of all? And if you don't mind me asking, why do you think that if an underprivileged child, I know the answer to this from my perspective, right? But I just want to hear from you. Why do you think an underprivileged child would benefit from going to a private school? What are the essence of that? What would they come out with, just in case, you know?
Well, I do this because I think that all children deserve an exceptional education. I live in California and it's an absolute disaster, but we won't get into the politics of California. It's not good for the amount of taxes that we pay. But I think this helps change families. It helps changes communities. It helps trickles down and changes the world by getting kids that typically are overlooked, that they are able to go to a private school and have the support even once they go into high school and college. The school, Michelle Lewis is the headmistress at the school, and she is so extraordinary. She helps these kids apply to high school. If they need it, she helps them apply to college. And so I just feel that I just think it's so incredibly important to help people have a great education so they can have a better life, and then they help change the world by doing for others. And so I just think when everyone does something positive, it's going to lead to someone else doing something positive for someone else less fortunate.
That is so beautiful, Christina. This is so insightful, because I can tell that, you know, what you're doing here, it's definitely going to help. I had someone on my podcast about 2 or 3 months ago. She is actually dyslexic and born and raised in the United Kingdom in London, and they came from a particular less privileged part of the United Kingdom, or London actually, and was able to find herself in a private school, and that private school gave her an edge over other kids in her community. And today she's now an advocate working with members of the parliament in the United Kingdom.
That's so extraordinary. I love that.
Yeah, talking to prime ministers, ministers, decision makers in London or the United Kingdom on how to change the system around to create policies and plans that will benefit children and adults who have dyslexia or are on the spectrum. And not only that, she now has a contract with Google, where she's now working for Google, informing people out there, hey guys, you got to change your policies and make your work environment more conducive for persons on the spectrum. And
I love that.
Yeah, she would never have done that if she was somewhere in the back streets of nowhere. But her educational system exposed her to all the great connections she has today and families. So the work you're doing is great. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, I'd just like to find out about more who Christina is, your childhood, how was it like growing up, and then we can go from there, if that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah. And we are back at the second segment of Broken Not Shattered, the BNS podcast. My guest today is Christina Flach from California. Christina is a celebrity makeup artist. Not only that, guys, she's not just doing makeup. She's a philanthropist, a mother of 5. She's done great and phenomenal work. She's an advocate in so many different areas. And if you didn't hear the first part of this wonderful story she shared with all our audience, I would suggest you guys go back and have a listen again. Christina, let's talk about the young girl herself. How was it like growing up, and where did you grow up?
I grew up here in Marin County, California. It's on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. I was kind of a tomboy. I was running around the hills, riding horses, playing tennis. I was pretty sporty. And, I grew up, my mother had been diagnosed with terminal cancer when I was about 8. She had brain cancer. So that wasn't the easiest, but my dad was, my parents did a great job. My dad is amazing. And, I'm very blessed to have had the childhood I've had.
Did your mom pass when you were young?
Yes, when I was 19.
And how did that affect you in any way?
Well, I think it affects everyone when you lose a parent, especially a mother. But I think it's made me more compassionate and empathetic and a better mother, because all the things that I missed growing up with my mom being ill, I try to be the best mom I can be for my kids, because it does make a big difference. So I also have other kids in my life. I've had a couple of my cousin passed away. And so I have her daughters, one of my chosen children, and 2 other girlfriends passed away. And so I try to be in their lives because they don't have a mom. So I'm very sensitive to people that have lost a parent at a young age.
Wow. I tried not to get too emotional when I'm on, but what you just said now has triggered up some emotions in me, so please forgive me. I can relate to what you're talking about. I lost my dad the same day, actually, I was supposed to be graduating from college. So it was supposed to be one of the...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was supposed to be walking and, getting my degree for my first degree, and that was the same day I got...
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so...
very hard.
Yes,
but I always feel that they are watching. So I have been speaking since Ken passed about grieving. I don't even know how it happened, but I started with speaking about sepsis, and then it kind of trickled down into grieving in a positive way. I don't want to be someone that's got a black veil on and angry and miserable and bitter. I don't want to be that person, because it affects my children. And I also feel that I remember after Ken passed, I was hiking, and I could hear him just so clearly say to me, "It is so hard looking down on you, sad. And I can't comfort you the way I did when I was alive." And so then I thought about it and thought, God, no one's honoring anybody by being angry and miserable and in a bad mood, with our loved ones passing. The best thing we can do is to honor them, is do something in their name, like I have done with the philanthropic work, but also just being grateful for the time that I had with my son and my mom and my husband, and not just focused on what I don't have, because we're not entitled to anything. So we have to be grateful for what we have, not what we don't have. So that's kind of shaped the way I think about things. I know your podcast is Broken Not Shattered, and I did an interview in LA, and this woman, it was a therapist, and she was saying, because I was saying, we're talking about post-traumatic shock that a lot of people go through once someone passes. And she said, well, you've obviously had that, but you've also had post-traumatic growth. And I think it's a choice being happy. It's a choice deciding to be grateful instead of being angry that I didn't get more time. Mm-hmm. And that's why time to me is so precious. The most important thing anyone can give me is time. I can buy my jewelry, I can buy my handbags, I have all the things I need, but when someone loves you and gives you time, that to me is just the most precious gift one can give.
Wow. I should just sit back and just listen to you talk. You said it all. Truly and honestly, time is the most precious thing. I know kids spell love Time. I tell parents all the time, it's not just...
I love that.
Yeah. It's not just it's not what you give to them, it's how much time you spend with them.
Yeah.
The memories I have growing up are all great memories. I remember my parents, having fun and just sitting down and just having a great laugh. I think my mom and dad were like best friends. Even to today, my mom is going to be 90 in November. She's 90 years old,
Wow.
and she still dances around in the living room thinking that she's still a young chick, right?
I love that. Good for her. She
Yes.
is.
There she
You're
is.
young. I mean, to me,
As she's
age
big,
is a
right?
number.
That's
It's
right.
how you choose. There's a lot of people that are young and they're like an old person. So
Yeah.
I think good for her.
Yeah, so she has that, and if anything happens to her, the first thing she calls out is my dad's name. Like, oh my God, happens. Oh, she just calls out her my dad's name, and it shows me that relationship. And then she has some challenges, but all her memories about her and her husband are so intact. Living in the UK, doing stuff, she can tell you all those stories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so and she's just a happy woman. So I can understand how it's been like, and I like the word you use, grieving in a positive way. I think sometimes loss does impact us, but like I tell most of my audience, if life throws you a lemon, slice it up and make some lemonade into it. It's what you choose to do out of it,
Absolutely.
that makes the difference.
It's all a choice. I mean, you can choose to be happy or you can choose to be angry. It's totally up to you. In life, if you want, you're going to have any life that you choose to have. So I think you should dream as big as you can and go for it. And I take away the word try, because that to me gives wiggle room to get out. Or, oh, well, it didn't work out. I tried.
I tried.
Well, not really. Not really. You didn't try really hard enough. So if you set a goal and just keep doing it, it will happen. But you have to just decide. I have a quote on my, it says, believe you can, and you're halfway there.
There you go.
And so once you do that, all you have to do is get halfway there. I mean, just go to the other half and
believe
be there.
You can, and you're halfway there. I like that.
And you're halfway there. I love that quote.
Yeah, that's a powerful quote. So believe you can, and you're halfway there. We have gone halfway past the show, but we're going to keep on going. When we started talking earlier on, you mentioned to me before we came on that what you did didn't just happen in a bubble. We talked about all the great work you did, who you are, the celebrities you've met, the beautiful life in California, all that great stuff. But I want us to make sure that before we leave here, that you can actually share your journey. How did you start before you became this great makeup artist? At least let someone know that it wasn't just a walk in the park.
No, it was not.
Please tell our audience. They would like to know.
So I always tell my kids, figure out what you love doing so much that you do it for free, and then figure out how to get paid. And so I loved being a makeup artist, especially having this large family with kids. It wasn't something that you do every day. I get booked for a job. Sometimes I work once, twice, 3 times a week. Sometimes I don't work. So it worked out, and I can kind of control if my kids had a field trip or needed me in the classroom, I could be there. So I started working just on any face I could get. The more faces, the better I got at it, the faster I got at it. And I took a lot of jobs. Like, magazines don't typically pay a lot. Yeah. And so I can't get enough doing enough magazines, because it's hard to get a cover or one of your clients or celebrities on the magazine. So I don't care. It's not always about the money. It's about the job, or if I really want to work with certain people, like I'll take a pay cut, and then there's other times I get my full day rate, and that's even better. But I don't say no to things, even if things like my agents will call, and first thing I say before hello is yes. And I am very grateful. So when they call and offer me a job, I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful. Right. And I will, my agents remember that I'll do a job that's not fantastic. So then the next time I get offered something that is fantastic. And so, but I love all my jobs. So it doesn't really matter. Wow. But it's a lot of fun, and I love, but it isn't as glam. People think, oh, you're on a set and it's so great. Well, a lot of times I have to wake up in the middle of the night. And I'm on my feet all day, and I'm taking care of that person, making sure they're totally happy. It is not about me. It is all about them. I make sure that they've got water and tea, and, I use aromatherapy to give them a hand massage so that they're in a good place. And And you have to know when you have to read your client, you have to figure out, okay, does this person want quiet? Do they want to talk? Do they want to listen? Like, what do they want? And you have 3 seconds and you have to figure it out. So I'm pretty good at reading people and figuring that out. So it's kind of, yes, you obviously have to have good makeup skills, but you also have to be able to work long hours. You have to be able to work with people. You have to it not be about, like, some people want their, like, especially when they're on TV, they're so accustomed to having their makeup done a certain way that if I do something different, it makes them very uncomfortable. So I have to really, I'll make suggestions of what I think is better, but I have to really, it's how they feel. If they're distracted on camera, it doesn't matter how great their makeup is if they're not comfortable. So it's very important to listen.
Because it's all about them, really, isn't it? It's
all about them.
It's all about them, how you feel. People will always remember how you make them feel. When you meet them, they might not remember everything you said, but trust me, they'll make you definitely know how someone makes you feel. Yes. There's a recent story, and I'm not too proud to share this one. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know why sometimes I just open myself up like this, but I don't know. He might be listening. We had a big event at we had a certain governor show up at the event, and a young guy shows up with his camera, right, and says he's the professional photographer for the governor. And I knew it couldn't be, because if it was, his name would be on the list. So he shows up at the event, and they're like, "Oh, the governor's photographer is here. The governor is not there yet, right?" And I'm like, "Are you sure They say, "Yeah." And they bring me out, and I looked at him. I said, "Man, sorry, dude, you're just trying to crash this party. Unfortunately, your name is not on this list, and I don't think you're the governor's official photographer." Woo!
Oh God. Oh, I'm cringing for you.
So my PA looks at me and says to me, "Sir, I think we should let him in, just in case."
Oh gosh.
He is. So after I did that, I found out that truly and honestly, he was the governor's.
And his nephew. I'm sure some relatives make it even worse.
And he's really.
We all stuck our foot in our mouth, and it's like I'm trying to get it out. It's so far deep. I can't even get it out.
So I put up a brave, Christina, trust me. I put up a brave face and said, "Okay, let him in. The governor comes, and truly, honestly, he is the governor's photographer." And not only that, I see him at a wedding.
No.
I see him at a wedding 2 months after, and then he goes to me. I said, "Oh, hi." He goes, I said, "Oh," somebody says, "Oh, meet Chris." I said, "Hi, Chris." He goes, "Oh, sir, I remember you. You were the guy that didn't let me in and was trying to throw me out of the party when I told you I was the governor's photographer." And I said, "That is how I've made him feel. He will always remember that day."
No matter what.
Then I said to him, "I'm going to change that impression. Today, he is the official photographer for every single event we hold."
There you go.
I got as a Chris.
You had to clean up that mess, because that karmically was a mess. That was like a lot of moldy lemons right there.
Yes, it was. I said yes. I said his work was good. He does great work. I said, "Dude, I'm going to have you as the official photographer for every event that we hold."
See, now he likes you again.
Oh, he likes me. He loves me. He cares about me. He gives me 3 hours. So I had to make up. So I can understand that, people really want to know how you make them feel. So the work
it's important just in life how you make people feel, because you never know who's who. It doesn't even matter what anyone is or does. Whether it be someone at the supermarket, the check, like whoever. I don't try. I know that no matter who I encounter in my life, that I am kind, I'm generous, I'm all the things, respectful, thoughtful. I'm all the things, because
you'd never know.
And it doesn't matter who someone is. I just try and treat everyone nicely. It's so much easier. But there are instances where I've done the same thing you have, and I'm like, I don't know about this. Doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Then I have to do some damage control.
Yes, exactly.
Like you did. I at least will acknowledge when I'm wrong.
Yes. I
have no problem saying I'm sorry or I'm wrong and I need to fix it. I can do that. And then it's not a situation.
There you go. And that's what I've mastered in my life. when to say, hey, I apologize, and just, I always tell people when I make mistakes, don't just check my heart out. If my heart is in the right place, then I'm good. Please check my heart out.
Yes.
It's been a joy.
Thank you so much.
Chatting and just meeting you for the first time. You have such a wonderful spirit.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Person, and I promise we'll bring you back once you get this skincare thing up and running, or you have something you want to share with our audience. Please just let me know. Tell your staff to reach out to us, or
I will.
You have my number now, so you can.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much.
Anytime you're in the DMV area, give us a call, and we would like to have you around and just.
That'd be lovely. Thank you so much.
Before you leave, I want you to take a minute, look at the camera, and speak to the audience and tell them something about life that you just want to share. And it's on you.
Oh my gosh, so much pressure. I would just say dream is bigger than you can. Dream to the point that you're incredibly uncomfortable, and that's the goal. And enjoy every minute. If you love, all the people that you love in your life, love them big, love them hard, and give people your time and your heart. And I think, and then, figure out what you love doing. You have to make change. And the only way to make change is being uncomfortable, unfortunately. But that's just, now I know when things are really uncomfortable, I'm like, I'm cringing. That's when something great's going to happen. So I'm not as tentative as I used to be with when I was younger. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. It makes me nervous. I'm uncomfortable. Like I wouldn't have had the opportunity on NBC because I was very uncomfortable doing live TV. I'm a makeup artist. I like being behind the camera. But my friend Berlin had said, he's the TV host that I work with on NBC. He said, look, all this stuff. You're going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable and get over yourself. And thank God I did, because this opportunity is huge and I am so grateful for it and I enjoy it. And it also has brought me so much confidence that I didn't even know I had from doing something that made me so incredibly uncomfortable. Thank you so much, Christine. Love big, work hard, and make out time. Those are my takeaways from what you just said now. In our famous 3 words, as we wrap up the show, please remember, to whatever you do, it's love, peace, and more grace. See you guys next week on the BNS podcast. And on behalf of myself and my guest, Christina Flach, we say take care and ta-cha. Bye.